Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day so far, and welcome to today's video where I'm going to be sharing my top 10 recommendations for the upcoming Sephora sales event. So if that sounds good to you, then keep watching. So it kicks off on the 28th of October for the Rouge level people. I always struggle with these because I don't really even understand what that means. But yeah, good for you. I'm also having to translate the dates of this because these are backwards as far as how I read dates. So I believe it's the 1st of November for VIB, which is the next level down. And then the insiders, they start on the 3rd of November. So I think those are the correct dates. This is really confusing, but you know, we're trying, okay? So at least be grateful for that. So you'll be getting 20% off if you're a Rouge starting on the 28th of October. If you are a VIB, you only get 15% off on the 1st of November, stingy. And then if you're an insider, you only get 10% off starting on the 3rd of November, which, I mean, what is this hierarchy? Rude. So let's talk about what I would buy were I to have access to this sale. The first thing that would be going in my cart, if I didn't already own it, of course, is the Hourglass Tiger palette, or the palette of your choosing. If you prefer the elephant, or if you prefer the butterfly, whatever Hourglass palette you've been hankering after, waiting for this Sephora sale, good for you. Good for you. You've saved 20% on the rest of the people who went out and bought it on the first day, and now you can have your smug face on and just feel smug that you saved your money. So well done you. But this would be a big recommendation for me. This is like the best of these palettes that I think Hourglass has ever put out. I am loving mine and getting a lot of use out of it. I feel like it's a good investment if you don't have a lot of makeup. I know a lot of us tend to assume that everybody has already got all of the same makeup, but there are people, believe me, who still have a normal amount of makeup or just starting out getting into higher end makeup or getting into makeup in general. And this is a great place to start, especially if you don't have a lot of Hourglass, because you get to try like all of their formulas in one place. And at 20% off, that's a really great price point to try highlighters, blush, finishing products in like, you know, a lovely tiger patterned package. So winning. Next up, an item I don't own, so I can't tell you it's amazing or how great it is, but I wish I could because I want this badly. And this is the Kilian Princess fragrance. So this is not available in the UK. I really hope it's coming because I've always wanted to try this fragrance from Kilian. I always would, for me, it makes sense to purchase fragrance in this sale because fragrance, my type of fragrances are very rarely reduced by 20%. This is a really good saving because fragrance is expensive. Obviously, the higher ticket items, you get a bigger saving when it's a percentage discount. So this is a great time to buy a fragrance that you've had your eye on. Sephora don't seem to have a lot of my favorite niche fragrance houses, but they do have Kilian. Obviously, you guys know I love Angel's Share, but I already own that. So if I was shopping this sale, I would be picking up Princess. It's supposed to be a glorious, very sweet, girly, feminine type of fragrance. It just sounds beautiful. It's a very popular one, and now it's available in this much more sensible packaging. And I really would like to get my mitts on this one. I cannot because it's not available here, but if I was shopping the Sephora sale, that would be coming home with me. My next recommendation would be these Gucci blushes. Oh, I absolutely adore these Gucci blushes. I think they're stunning. I think they're glorious. I think they're beautiful, and they're expensive. They are Gucci, of course. They come with a Gucci price tag. But for me, they are worth every penny, and even more so at 20% off. So again, if you've been holding off, waiting for a sale, this is probably about the max that you're really going to get off of these blushes. They're very popular. Everybody's loving them. So I don't think they're really going to end up in like, you know, a 50% off situation. So I think 20% off is probably about as good as it's going to get for these blushes. And that's a decent saving because they are expensive. They're expensive blushes. Next up, a hair care product. What? I know. I've really got into taking care of my hair in the last year or so, since I started having it professionally coloured, and I'm being encouraged to do some, you know, actual hair care by my hairdresser. So the next item that I would recommend is this K18 mask, this hair mask. I picked mine up. I got mine like a few weeks ago. I've used it twice. a grand total of twice, okay? So this is brand new information for me, but I am loving this stuff. I very much trust my hairdresser. She has completely revolutionized my hair, especially not just how she colors and cuts it, but the products that she's recommended to me, and getting into more Olaplex and using that and really taking care of my hair has really paid off for me. But my hairdresser recommended that I change my Olaplex 3, which is like the mask you do prior to washing, and start using this K18 mask instead. And like the instant payoff has been rewarding. Okay, this is supposed to be it for actually repairing damage to your hair, and I am loving how my hair looks and feels after I use this. The number one most noticeable thing is all, you know, those little white dots that you get in the ends of your hair where they're completely fried and, you know, you have split ends, have gone. They went after the first use and they have not come back since, okay? So if that's not a great sign, I don't know what is. This is insanely expensive. So again, a great time to purchase it if you can get 20% off, because again, I suspect that's probably about the max that you'll ever really get off of this hair mask, because it's highly popular and it's just one of those items that is never going to be like 50% off. So if you want to try it, then now is probably the best time to like save as much as you're going to, and you know, to buy maybe the bigger size, so it's going to last you for like a decade, roughly. Now, next, I don't typically, she's got the pen out, so you know it's serious business, okay? I don't typically recommend any Pat McGrath in these Sephora sales. Put it down. I'm so sorry. And I'll tell you for why. The reason is that Pat McGrath herself, her own website, have incredible sales. We're talking 30%, we're talking 25%, we're talking 20% minimum, but it goes up to 30%. So I don't typically recommend you getting 50% off, 20% off, because if you wait a bit for one of these incredible Pat McGrath websites, you're going to get even more off. 20%, who needs it? You know, when you can have 30. But here's the thing. The Mothership X or the Mothership 10 or whatever the other names for this palette are, is not, I don't think, is not going to be on sale for a little while, I feel. Because it's her most recent Mothership, typically the sort of latest releases are excluded from Pat's sales, and the 30% off everything sales only come along every so often, and like I said, typically the like latest products to release are excluded from that sale. So if you've been hanging on for Mothership X, which is like my favourite Mothership palette of all time, I fall more in love with it every day. It's just so wearable and usable, and I really feel like it's just one that everybody is going to really love. Then I feel like 20% off, that's a lot. When you're talking Mothership money, 20%, that's a lot of money off. So it's a great saving to make, and if you've been waiting and you've been patient, you deserve to have her in your paws, because I don't know how long it'll be. Don't quote me, okay, because who knows? These Pat McGrath sales, they come out every few days. So it could be that there is another one soon, and it does include that palette. It's a risk sometimes we have to take. We just don't know if it's going to pay off or not. We don't know. But I feel like 20% off is a good amount, and I don't know if it's going to be 30% off for the rest of this year at Pat's site, is what I'm saying. So you've waited long enough. You know? Next up, a foundation that I think would be a great, if you have been waiting, again, I think typically about the max you're going to get off of this foundation, and it's the Hourglass Foundation. I absolutely love this foundation. I think it's a very good investment, because if you are a normal human person with one face and you only need one foundation, I know, what's this madness? This is a great one. It's very expensive, but it ticks every box in every scenario. It's got no SPF in it, so you can wear it morning, evening, events, weddings. It's long wearing. It's not super glowy, so it's like gonna, you know, wear a bit less well, or it's going to photograph a bit less well. It literally is perfect for every scenario. So if you want to save up and get a really nice foundation that's going to, you know, suit every single type of event and occasion that you would need a foundation for, and you want to use the same one every single day and just play around with how you want to wear it and apply it, that's a great choice. The Tom Ford Shade Illuminate, for some reason, bizarrely, is not available on Sephora, so that's not an option, or I would be recommending that, because any money off of that is helpful. It's expensive. But this Hourglass foundation is still expensive, and 20% again is a good amount off of this foundation, and it's going to last you a very long time because you need such a small amount, so it might even last you until the next Sephora sale. I mean, how often are these things happening? Someone tell me. Is it twice a year? Is that right? I don't know. This video is very much the blind leading the blind. I don't know if you're picking up on that. Another eyeshadow palette that I think would be a great choice that I would definitely be enjoying getting 20% off of would be the new Natasha Denona My Dream palette. Such a beautiful palette. So beautiful and so wearable and versatile. You can get like, I'd say a dozen. I'm going to say a dozen. Maybe even a baker's dozen. Can you believe it? A baker's dozen of like everyday looks out of this palette. You've got looks for days, all of them super wearable and easy and effective. It's got everything you could possibly need in here. It's very easy to work with, color combinations and formulas. I think it's gorgeous. It's new. It's going to be a while till it's in a sale. So I think 20% off of this is a win, especially as it's like really new. It's like it's only just came out and you can already get 20% off of it. What is happening? My next recommendation is going to be the Charlotte Tilbury Cream Bronzer. This is such a nice bronzer. Coming from someone who doesn't like creams, this is big, guys. This is big, okay? And also the bronzer is big. It's going to last you a very long time, but that also means it comes with a hefty whopper of a price tag. So again, a really good, decent amount of savings to be had here. Charlotte Tilbury sales, I don't know if you've noticed, are rubbish. Okay, they're like 10% off these 4 items that nobody wanted at full price. That's kind of the level of sale that Charlotte Tilbury gives us. She gives us nothing when it comes to sales. So Charlotte Tilbury products, like 20% off is, about as good as it's going to get the majority of the time. But as a permanent product, I feel like Charlotte Tilbury's products are typically, 20% off is about the max you're going to get. This is going to last you for a very, very long time. Again, you won't need to repurchase this until it comes to like next year. And also, a lot of Charlotte Tilbury's products are refillable, so again a great time to buy her like powder bronzer as well, because you will only have to pay like the full price for the component one time, and then you've just got to purchase the refills for less. So that's also a great time to buy components and things like that, when you can make a saving, and then you've only got to buy refills once you ever use them up, if that ever happens. Is anyone doing that these days? I don't know. But if it's ever going to happen, it would be on a cream bronzer. I feel like that's a product that you may actually stand a chance of hitting pan on. And who doesn't love to hit a bit of pan? I know I do. So yeah, an expensive product, one that's kind of a staple that you're going to get a lot of use out of and you're going to use potentially every day. And it's just going to be a great saving, as well as, being a really great product. So yeah. Another one of my picks. Next up, another product that I have been raving about all year. In fact, won't stop going on about it. And it's the Natasha Denona Glam Face and Eye Palette. The light version is my favourite, but either of these palettes, depending on your skin tone and just your preference, are just breathtaking. The eyeshadows in these palettes are stunning, like some of Natasha's best ever eyeshadows. And if you like a cream blush, you also won't be disappointed with the cream blush in here. It's very easy to work with, more of like a cream powder hybrid, really not much like slip. They're definitely not sticky, don't lift product up. They literally feel like a creamy powder is how they feel on the skin. Very easy to work with. This palette all around is a delight and a dream, and would be a great gift actually as well. Very high price point because it's Natasha Denona and it's a whole big whopping palette of stuff. So again, a really nice amount to save on this palette if you've kind of been waiting for a sale, waiting for it, you want to ask someone to buy it for you, saving up points. It's a high ticket item, so again, a great time to take advantage of the sale. And last, but by no means least, I'm a big fan of like staples and picking those up during sale time. Like it's nice to wait for a sale on like the flashy, exciting items, but those kind of like the products that you use every single time you do your makeup that are really expensive, staples, a great time to pick those up during the sale because you've got to buy them at some point anyway if you use them every time you do your makeup. So why not buy them for a lot less money? That's what I'm saying. So my final recommendation is the Tom Ford Soft Matte Primer. This has become my absolute holy grail primer and it's expensive, but it is going to last you a very, very long time. You know, it's a primer, a bit like foundation. In fact, you get the same amount of primer as you do foundation and you typically, I would presume, anyway, I know I do, use a huge amount less primer than I do foundation. So it's probably going to last you a year. If you're not doing makeup every day and using a lot of this, it's going to last you a very long time. So sale time, wait for a sale for these type of products, restock when you need them. This is like the perfect type of product that I like to buy in sale time. I get my eyebrow pencils, I get my primers, I get my setting sprays, all of those like powder, all of those products that are going to last a long time, but you know you're going to want to use a lot and you only need to repurchase them like once a year. Those are like the things to go for in sale time because you have to buy it, you need them. Definitely prefer to need them at 20% off. So there you have it. Those are my top 10 recommendations, my picks from the Sephora sale. Please let me know what you plan to pick up during this sale and just tease me with your savings and what you're planning to go nuts on. I would love to know. I'm nosy. I like to know what's in people's carts, what they're planning to do. I have to live vicariously through you guys because I can't shop this sale myself. So, you know, it stops me being bitter to see you guys happy and saving money. So I hope you enjoyed this video and I would love to see you in the next one. Otherwise, take care for now. Bye, 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 bye.